But anyway, so now let's go from one franchise to another, and let's talk about Scream 7, where it has been reported that Courtney Cox has officially signed on and is reprising her role as the iconic reporter Gale Weathers. Now, I could have sworn, because there was so many rumors floating around, it was like Courtney Cox has already signed on. Yeah, I'm leaving that in there. Courtney Cox already signed on. She's coming back. Then I'm reading other articles when they talk about all these other actors coming back, even as recent as Mason Gooding. Now they were sitting up there saying, well, Courtney Cox has yet to sign on. There's no word on whether. I'm like, what? Because I could have sworn, like, everybody keeps saying something different every day. So did she sign on or did she not? But apparently, according to the report yesterday that came out officially, I believe on Variety, she's coming back. So now it's been announced. Now it's only a matter of time, I guess, because we have um Mason Gooding coming back, that we should be hearing from Jasmine Brown any second now. Who, shout out to her, because I heard that she just launched a podcast. You know, she's on Yellow Jacket. I'm sure she's coming back for Scream 7. And she just dropped a new podcast. Well, is they announced it. I saw it on Instagram, and then I saw like the blogs and stuff are picking it up, that she did a podcast, and I think it's it's a queer podcast where they like give you the latest news and stuff that's going on in the queer community, because she's a member of the LGBTQ community, in case you didn't know that. So, according to Variety, it says sources tell me, and that would be Mark Malkin, who's reporting this, that the actor will once again play Gale Weathers on in the seventh installment of the beloved horror franchise. In September, Cox told me, I'm not officially signed on. I'm not, but there will be a Scream 7. Now that Cox didn't want to return, she said that she was still waiting for the final script, but was excited that the film will mark Kevin Williamson's first time directing a Scream movie. Williamson wrote the script for the first Scream in 1996, and she said, end quote, "You can't get better than that choice." Cox said of Williamson, "It's going to be fun." So we don't even know what the movie's going to be about, but we see like it's going to be centered around Sydney. Now we got Gale coming back. There's rumors that people are saying that it's a possibility that when you get Chad Meeks Martin coming in, which would be a Mason Gooding's character, you know, two of the core four, one fourth of the core four, I should say, with him. But I was counting his twin sister in there, that he might be some sort of a cameraman like a Joel in Scream 2. And they were like, well, why would they make him a cameraman? That doesn't make sense. And I'm like, well, why not? Why, did you never see Twister? I can use that as a perfect example. Helen Hunt, because I had to remember her damn name from the first one, not the one recently that just came out, but the one back from the 90s. Helen Hunt witnessed her father get sucked up out of that damn cellar by a tornado. And what did she do? She grew up chasing tornadoes. So maybe that's a way that you have Chad deal with his trauma of surviving multiple stab wounds in two separate movies, of being stabbed up by a multitude of serial killers in Scream costumes, in the Ghostface costume, I mean. And now he's out here with Gale chasing these type of stories. So, that's how some people work out their trauma. I'm like, that would be a good angle for him. Y'all got to give him something to do, because I felt like in both movies, y'all really didn't give him something to do. And if we don't get Tara back, then, there's nothing really there as well, because they kind of it looked like they were trying to get in a relationship, or people were trying to ship them, the writers, in the last movie. So y'all can find something for him to do. And of course, his association with Randy and Randy's sister, the Meeks Martin twins, definitely can have something to do in this film. Now, I know people are still upset about Melissa Barrera and that sort of thing, but you know what? I don't feel no waste time, because number one, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Melissa Barrera wasn't really all that amazing when she was in this movie. Yeah, they stepped it up and they gave her a lot more to do in Scream 6, but to me, she's no Sidney Prescott. And I'm not trying to say I'm trying to compare them, but she's not as memorable as a Sidney Prescott. It's like, if she don't show up in something, I don't care. I feel bad. And I like Melissa Barrera. And I went, because I told her I went to go see Abigail. I went to support her while a lot of y'all sat at home and waited for it to show up on Peacock. But and then watched it. But if she doesn't show up in this thing, I don't feel no ways about it because I feel like I'm not getting too wrapped up in the politics. If I took every little thing about somebody did this and this is why I can't support them, then I guess I ain't gonna be able to watch no TV. I ain't gonna be able to watch no movies. I ain't gonna be able to listen to no music. I'm gonna just be out here miserable with a bunch of gray hairs, crow's feet, looking depressed because everything got to be a damn boycott. When the real enemy should be Spyglass, and y'all should go after them, but a lot of y'all aren't. Y'all want to sit up in here and bully actors, whoever signs on in this movie, but they got to work. Because unless you plan on writing a script and getting some money from a studio and putting them in a movie, at the end of the day, these actors got to work. And at the end of the day, Spyglass is not going to let this franchise go because they make too much money doing this. Now, I am wondering what is going on with Patrick Dempsey because he's the one that we haven't heard from yet. And if Courteney Cox is officially announcing that she signed on, then that basically means that the script is done. And I guess at this point it has to be because filming begins in January. So I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to do with this Scream franchise. I'm definitely going to be there opening night to see it because I want, even with all the politics behind the scenes and what them Zionists over there at Spyglass did to fire Melissa Barrera for exercising her right to free speech and having empathy for Palestinian people. I love this franchise. I've been watching it from the beginning, and I'm not going to stop watching something because of a studio thing. They're not going to be hurt at the end. It's the actors, and I'm there for the performers. I'm there to show up for the franchise. I'm there to show up because I love this franchise, and I'm there to support the actors who are part of this whole situation. Now, if any of them would have came out and said some kill the Palestinians or some craziness like that, then I'd be like, okay, let's protest. But the high is up. How you plan on hurting them? And you think about not showing them, the movie's gonna make money regardless. It's a slasher film. Slasher films don't require you having to spend a whole lot of money to make them, and they don't have to spend a whole lot of money to you know accumulate at the box office. Although the last one did make like over $100 million. So shout out to you, Courtney. I'll definitely be out there supporting her. She's been with this franchise for damn near 30 years. I'm still mad at that other, conglomerate, because I guess they had no ties to him, for killing off Dewey. I didn't like the fact that they killed him off in Scream 5, but I guess, you going around killing the legacy characters because you had no connection to them. Talking about Radio Silence. They had no real connection to the legacy characters. So yeah, you're going to kind of make Sydney the background chick. You're going to kill off Dewey and give Gale a little something to do. But while you trying to push in your new core four, and they were cute or whatever for what they were doing, but child, there was no Sidney Prescott, like I said before, and all the other memorable characters. So what I'm really hoping is that Kevin Williamson is, even though he is directing, he is going to be very much hands-on. Hopefully with the script, he did some tweaks because if he knows how to make a Scream movie work, I would say if anybody knows how to make a Scream movie work, it's him because he created this franchise. He created the very first movie. And yes, some of these characters like Chad and Mindy and all of them aren't necessarily his creations. Sydney is his creation. Gale is his creation. And if he plans on bringing anybody else back, then they'll be his creation too. I did hear some people saying that maybe they should bring Stu back. I'm tired of y'all with that narrative. I am so sick and tired of y'all with this bring Stu back. If you got a big back TV thrown up on your face, you think you surviving that? And he been gone for damn near 30 years. Like, let the man go. But, some people still holding on to hope. But you keep holding on. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? You guys excited to see my girl Gale Weathers is coming back. Well, Courteney Cox's Gale Weathers is coming back to reprise her role in the 7th installment of the Scream franchise. I have to say I'm excited because I love this franchise and I'm really rooting for it. Even with all the politics and stuff going on behind the scenes, I'm rooting for this movie to succeed. And I'm rooting for Kevin Williamson because he created the franchise and he's the one directing. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.